Hello everybody, I'm Sky from Harbin Institute of Technology, Shenzhen, China. Today my topic is to look at HCI to HVRI. It's short for Human-Computer Interaction to Human Virtual Reality Interaction. And what I'm trying to do is to look at how different will the interaction of digital architectural design will be from HCI to HVRI. So let's have a look at architectural design method from the past. It has been started off from pens, pencil, ruler, paper, to keyboard and mouse, where we actually start drafting and CADing plans, elevations for design, to the extent of creating 3D models and having them doing all kinds of interaction, and we can even go into interacting them through sensors, motions, and gesture. So what is human-computer interactions? What we are looking at is actually to see how from plans and elevations and from drawings to CADing, and then currently this interaction is much more looking at just 2D drawings. So what we are looking at it is necessary to understand the development of related technologies and tools, as well as the limitation in the development process. So the traditional architectural design is based on 2D design models, using pencil and pen as sketch tools, and then the architects pay more attention in the form and details, yet ignoring, or rather, not really ignoring, but they can't really actually be able to handle the complex body shape, space, form, and environment. So the plans, elevation, and section of building acts as three primary means in the process of design and presentation. So although the theory and method of traditional architectural design are quite mature, design and planning have been struggling with insufficient tool to cope with the increasingly complex challenge. So even with 3D modeling, there is still quite some limitation to how architects can actually comprehend and provide more interactive informations. So what are the specific disadvantages? So one of the first one is actually the presentation of the design can only be from the bird eyes view instead of first person, which kind of fail to reflect the real feeling of space and architectural narrative. And then the architectural rendering, although with realistic and robust dynamic expressive force, can only provide static and local visual experience. This is also same with 3D modeling, as there isn't many real-time interaction with the information, virtual information. So although the hardware is still considered as computer, the humans with his gesture are totally excluded from the interaction in both real world and the virtual world. So there are a lot of things which you can't actually be seen in the virtual environment. So if we look at the human VR interaction in architectural design, right now in VR you can actually use headset with controller to see design models and move around, experience And in AR, you can actually superimpose the virtual models with the real environment. And of course, we also have mixed environment where you can have the whole immersive. You can immerse yourself in the virtual environment, yet you are still able to see the real world, to kind of interact with the real world in some way. So right now, the reality virtuality continuum and segment are widely defined by the relationship between virtuality and reality environment, as well as attached technology advancement, as shown in this diagram. And the latest virtual environment, virtual reality equipment allows users to immerse themselves in virtual social environment with multi-dimensional elements to enrich design engagement. So this paper actually, tries to compare to traditional method and see how immersive tool can hold the unique advantage, and how they can actually be further into interactive architectural design method. So the first point is actually virtual reality provide easy interaction with open source data and smart visualization. So with data now being more than just X and Y, or even 3D, they are going into 4D and 5D. It is not very easy to visualize them through the screen, but by placing them through a 3D environment and looking at them through the virtual reality, it can actually give people a much more intuitive way to visualize the data. And of course, right now, we also are able to interact directly with models in VR, although it's still using remote control, but it provides a heightened sense of immersion and spatial awareness, which provide unique opportunity for designer to perceive and evaluate scale and space. And then we can actually interact with the virtual environment compared to traditional models through some studies by Agulo and Velasco. It really proven that virtual reality, the space in virtual reality can provide a much more heightened, or rather can enhance the understanding of architectural experience of space, leading to meaningful results. And then simple trigger interactions could further enhance the design modeling experience by adding more optional details in the design, like changing the daylight, opening up the doors, having some interactive architectural components, and even various weather and even sound can be added into the virtual reality. So looking at all this technology and what we are hoping to achieve, from human-computer interaction to human virtual reality, there are a few points that we actually need to add. The first one is actually the manipulation of geometric characteristics of space-defined elements. So in a sense, we should have a better understanding of how virtual reality can be achieved in terms of shape, depth, rhythm, scale, and proportion, such that the experience can be more than just even if it's a 3D screen, you can actually have a much more perception in this area. And then of course, it's the incremental application of shading, texture, and light form from primary to photorealistic, to the extent where maybe you can actually have a much more realistic experience in the virtual reality, and you can have real-time changes to the environment. And of course, the real-time manipulation of object in the virtual environment is not just static, and not just moving object around, but through data and direct feedback, and even maybe machine learning. The virtual reality models can actually provide cause and effect to have a better understanding of what is going to happen, or even simulating various environment with when you are immersed in the environment. So these are some of the futuristic images where you can have direct feedback, moving the objects, and even feedback you the cost of your design and everything, or you can even see the preference, provide options, and real scale to the people. And of course, this is something, although it's just headset and hand control, but what is hopefully achieved is really to just be much more immersive in the environment, to look at simulation, like fire, or even like the current COVID virus, what is happening to crowds and everything. So hopefully what we can achieve in the future is not just human and computer interaction, but to the extent of human and the interaction with the virtual environment very, very interactively. Thank you.